And welcome to In-Game Chat. As I make some adjustments. Yeah, welcome to the show. In-Game Chat for Saturday, November 17th, 2018. It is Season 12, Episode 42. And I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And I'm Matt.
And welcome to the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. Streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/InGameChat. That's where you can find us. There's links at our website that are just easier to deal with, so just go to ingamechat.net. You can find the link there to watch us live while we broadcast. A couple of show notes. We will not be here next weekend. Over here in the States, we got that thing called Thanksgiving. And, people go out of town, people do the family thing, people do whatever. I'm using it as an excuse not to come in next weekend at all. I'm going to try to not come into this building at all for, what is it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 4 whole days. I'm going to try and make that happen.
Here's the hoping. Pretty easy.
Here's the hoping that there's no sudden emergency that and the first person they call.
Right? No. I mean, there's the possibility that things come up that I've got to come in here. I'm just talking about, outside of emergencies.
Yeah.
RJ and I don't come in here 6 days out of the week. I mean, how hard could that be?
Right. Yeah. Well, you can't get in unless I'm here.
That's right.
So yeah.
So who's cooking?
Yeah, no show next week. And in fact, we're not even doing a replay next week either. The guys who come on after us, Terry Adams, he comes on at, what time do we get off? 6?
6.
Right. He's going to take over the 2 hours there that we're on. So he's going to be going on, he'll be on from 4 to like 9. So for those of you who really love his show or really love listening to this station and just keep it on all the time, but maybe you tune out whenever you come around this show, and then you tune back in whenever we're done. You won't have to do that next week. You can listen and pay attention because Tara will be on for the 2 hours.
Right.
So yeah, just to let you know on those show notes. Let me do this real quick, and then I've got another show note for you as well. Yeah. Quickly, that's it. One more for the people in the back. The other show note is this. We were supposed to have Lee Daniels from Quality City Comics. Or Quality Comics.
With an X?
Quality City Comics. We're supposed to have him come in, and he wasn't able to make it. So he wanted me to talk about their big, huge Black Friday sale going on this week. On Friday, and I'm guessing, and I don't know if he's listening, I'll send him a text and ask him about the hours. When they're going to be open and stuff. But they're going to have a huge sale on all back stock sports cards boxes. Vintage packs and boxes will be way below cost. All comics in the back issue bins will be half off. There will be 10% off all toys and comic inventory in the store. That does not apply to their online inventory, unfortunately. All graphic novels will be buy 2, get 1 free. And then they'll have varying discounts on all single cards as well. So that is over at Quality Comics. They are located at 500 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery. Call them at 272-1787. You can find them on eBay. They've got an eBay store. You can find them online at qualitycomics.com or at their Facebook page, Montgomery Quality Comics. And you can check that out as well. So as I get more information, of course, I will let you guys know throughout the show as far as, what their hours are going to be for Black Friday and that sort of thing. So, yeah, those are the only 2 show notes I really wanted to. And also that all the music for this week's episode is all from Red Dead Redemption 2. All of it.
Cool.
So,
I was asking earlier, who's cooking for Thanksgiving?
I'm not.
I'm hoping to get, like, Chinese or something.
Ain't cooking.
Actually, I'm going to be doing a food kitchen, volunteering at a food kitchen for Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, I got to make a caramel cake for my folks when I go over there. That's pretty much all the cooking I'll be doing.
So, RJ, Scott, I want to say Happy Empire Day.
Today is the Empire Day?
Today is the Empire Day.
11/17?
I asked...
Or is it 17/11?
11/17.
Okay.
I asked Apex fan on Twitter, Justin Bolger, who works out at Lucasfilm, when would Empire Day be? And he said, today is Empire Day.
Why, though?
I forget
Why
the
is
reason.
it? Yeah, what's the reasoning?
I forget. I do know that 40 years ago today was the premiere of the wonderfully terrible Star Wars Holiday Special.
Was that B. Arthur?
Day.
Yeah, with B. Arthur.
That was B. Arthur, yeah. Okay.
I forget exactly why I sent that. Was this when Empire Day?
There's
the
Commonwealth
episode?
Day, which is Monday, March
No,
the
there's
11th.
actually like a British holiday called Empire
Called
Day.
Empire Day. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking at it right now.
No, but I asked some of the people at Lucasfilm.
Oh, wait, here we go.
And he said that today would be on our calendar, I guess, because I think this is like the day that the episode Empire Day aired.
Empire Day was the day that Sheev Palpatine declared himself Emperor of the First Galactic Empire,
Yep.
bringing an end to the Republic. It was also the day that Ezra Bridger was born, and 2 days before the births of Luke and Leia.
Yep.
Empire Day became a holiday marking the anniversary of the rise of the Empire. But there doesn't have a date.
I don't know. I asked the people at Lucasfilm, and they said today was it. So I'm saying Happy Empire Day.
Coincidentally, the holiday fell on May 20th, which is also the day of the UK's premiere of Star Wars, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, which resulted in a revival of the holiday of sorts. The term Empire Day was derived from a holiday within the UK and extended throughout the countries of the Commonwealth, celebrating the anniversary of the British Empire's formation. Coincidentally, the holiday fell on May 20th, which was also the day which resulted in a revival of the holiday of sorts. So, yeah, okay, Happy Empire Day. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm seriously
And Happy Life Day.
I wanted to look it up and see if there was an actual date on this thing.
I'll have to go back through like my year-old tweets.
This comes from Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I talked to the dude at Lucasfilm.
You didn't talk to the dude at
Well,
Lucasfilm.
a dude.
You talked to a dude at Lucasfilm.
Like the Imperial dude.
Yeah. So, anyway,
So,
we're going to
yes.
have a show next week, and we will be back the week after
We'll
that.
be celebrating Life Day.
So, yeah.
So what'd you play?
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
but part of my, I think I'm around the 49% complete here. I just did Black Cat stuff, which was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, but I like the suit you get.
Yeah, that was neat. Actually,
nice.
I took the suit off because it was really at night. It was still at night, and it was very hard to see myself because
Yeah, there are no highlights on that thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it is jet black with very, very dark red
It is.
lining on it.
And then in the
That's right.
daylight, it was still just like, I don't like it. So
Okay.
I went back to, I don't know what suit I'm
I
sporting
do the
right now.
once I got the animated suit, I just use that one.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet.
I
The
stuck with
comic book suit, I
Yeah.
love that one.
I stuck with the advanced suit.
Okay.
I mean, I got that, and then
Which
I started
one is the advanced suit?
the one you get from Octavius.
So the
the very beginning, the white
the
spider.
cannon.
Yeah, the white spider on the front. Yeah, that's the one I use. I mean, I looked at the others; they're all nice and everything, but eventually I just kept going back to the one I got. From
I was
Bandai.
using the classic suit for a while just because it's classic Spider-Man. You know, I was using the classic suit for a
I
while,
was
and
using
then
Iron Spider for a bit.
I switched over to the one that the game intended for you to really, or the one that it's using as its Spider-Man suit. And I was like, I like between those two. I'm pretty fond of those.
Yeah.
Just
I tried Iron Spider. Like I did. I tried the power on it.
Yeah.
Like that. It was fun for a little bit, but still, I just kept going back to the advanced suit. I know you can switch the powers on each one individually still, but
Yeah.
The web, as Spigot says, the web bloom is pretty much the only one I use.
The web bloom's good.
Yeah, same here.
You
That's
jump into a crowd and you're just like,
boom, boom, boom. Wave 1 is done.
Yeah.
yeah.
With the exception of maybe one or two guys, wave 1 is done. And then wave 2 comes in, I guess, depending. I've done all of that. What did I unlock now? I have 2 side missions that I can do, and then I need to go to... Oh, I can't remember what it was. I almost spent the night at MJ's place, but then I went to the shelter and spent the night there.
Feast.
Yeah.
Feast Center. Okay.
Went to Feast and spent the night there. The director of that thing came and was like, hey, take care of the place. I'm going out of town for a while. And then, boom, I'm back into it. So I already did Black Cat stuff, and I already finished all of my here's criminal activity going on in the city, so I got all that done. I wrapped up all but one of the Oscorp data stations that are around the area.
Station,
Yeah, well, one I had to get the electric web, which I finally got.
Okay.
And then there's another one that I can't do yet. I have to advance in the story before I can do it. And so I'm working my way through, just getting all that stuff done.
Yeah.
So
I think I think I'm at the point where I'm having to wear the suit where you find all the bonus photo ops.
Oh.
Do you get a suit that shows you
Well,
all
I
of
mean,
those?
you could get a power up. You could use that on any suit.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, I got the suit that had the power on. Just put it on and started.
How do
going
you
through
get that suit?
Is that the?
I think it's something through the Taskmaster missions. You gotta have medals and things. I think it's another suit that you just build up through doing missions and Taskmaster missions and things like that.
Because I haven't gotten it yet.
Get the materials and then build the suit, and there you go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one because I'd like to get those. I've captured some of them. Just some I'll look at and I'll say, let me pull out my camera, see if that's a little secret one, and then I'll zoom in on it and get it centered or whatever, and it is. Click.
Yeah, green. It just shows up green for you.
Yeah. Because it just I went to. We were doing, after I got done with all of the landmarks that actually do show up on your map that tell you to go take pictures of.
Right.
I was like, let me go look in the Statue of Liberty because I haven't seen the Statue of Liberty. Can I get out to it? That sort of thing. I said, where is it? And so I went and found it on the map. I was like, wow, it's way out there. Let me pull up my camera so I can see it. I pulled it out, zoomed in. And it's like green. I was like, what's this? Took a picture. Hey, hidden thing. You've taken a picture of a hidden object, whatever. Like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
Did it say Lady Liberty?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I want to say that's what pulled up or something like that. Oh, no. How about all the backpacks? You get all those?
Oh, those done, yeah.
Okay.
I got those done early in the game.
Okay.
Way early in the game. Yeah.
Some of the hiding locations, those things were ridiculous, man. I mean, it was like 20 minutes of that beep, beep, beep going faster and faster, and you're like, I'm standing on it or something, but I can't pinpoint it. And then it's like up under a girder under this overhang of some shop that I was.
I had a couple that
over.
were like that, where it was a little hard to find. So anyway, I played Spider-Man and I played Destiny, and James and Random, who shows up in the chat room from time to time. He and I have been playing together. Did the Nightfall and ran Crucible last night. Well, I say Crucible. We ran Iron Banner last night. Iron Banner is a great source of leveling up. I mean, it's a grind, but all the bounties that come, all 10 bounties that come with Iron Banner now, as you turn them in, you get powerful gear, so it ups your level. So we're trying to get James up to where things will start dropping at max level for him, 600, so that we can go get some of his exotics that he's been putting off, so that he doesn't have to infuse, waste infusion in order to get them up there and bring up the level to the weapons. Speaking
of infusing, it really irks me seeing the things that you never cared about picking up, like phase glass.
Oh, all that stuff is needed
dust.
now, yeah.
Now you need it like 20 or 25 to infuse something. Yeah.
Materials, you need materials. But materials drop for everything now. Materials drop for patrols on the planet that you do. Materials drop for the chests that you loot on the planet that you do. Materials drop for any kind of public events that you do, or lost sectors, or adventures. Anything on that planet that you do pretty much gives you materials from that planet. So it's really easy to grab the amount you need if you just need to do one infusion. The thing with me is that, I've been playing since the thing launched.
Yeah.
And for the first year, you didn't need these things for anything.
No.
So all they ever did was just stack up and build up in my inventory. Same thing with the, what is it? The legendary fragments, the purple ones.
Yeah.
I've got...
You got like in the thousands, didn't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up here. I'll tell you in just a second. I want to say it's in the 4 range.
$4,000, yeah.
Inventory.
Yeah, you never long for legendary crystals now, as much as you've played all this time.
Man, where does it give you that? Where does it give you the list of what you've got?
You said the Iron Banner earlier. I think the only thing I really gotten that
Oh, there it is.
gave me interest was the shaders out of there.
Mm-hmm. I have 4,300 legendary shards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shards.
And the most you'll ever use on any infusion is what, like 25, 10,
Yeah.
10 to 20?
Yeah, pretty much. I have 42 plus 57, 93. No, 99. 99? Yeah, I have 99, what are they called? Enhancement cores, you know, that you use
to make them legendary.
to infuse or to, you have to have those to infuse and you have to have them to level up the guns to masterwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sitting on a lot of stuff because they just weren't needed for the longest time. Now they are.
Now they are.
And it seems like they deplete faster now that I have them. So, let's see. What else do we have? I did that and I did Destiny. I never got back into Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
I never did. It's very, very strange. I just did not. I didn't feel like popping it on and playing it so much. I've been doing a lot of research on Black Friday deals and what I'm kind of looking at, and yeah. So I've been preoccupied in like the free time. So obviously not preoccupied enough to stop playing Destiny at all. I did that a lot last night.
Well, you had
We
friends
grinded that one.
Yeah, you had friends to play with that time, so yeah.
Well, it's not often that James is on, and I'm really, when
Yeah,
he
that's
was,
what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a rare opportunity, so yeah, I can see why.
When he was on, I was like, okay, yeah, let's get your level up. I found out that the Halloween event that they had, where it drops an exotic machine gun in the heavy slot, the old machine gun.
Festival of Lost.
It was Festival of Lost.
Yeah.
The name of the gun is Thunderlord, and it's only going to be available. Like, he got up to the steps to where all he has to do now is do the quest to get it. But that quest ends on the 27th of this month. After that, the gun goes back into the loot pool, and it's just like, I might get it, I might not. Random chance. So I said, hey, James, we've got to do this before the 27th. And we were about to go do it, and I thought, wait, what level are you? And he told me what his level. It's like, we got 2 weeks to do this. Let's just build you up and get you as high as we can go. And then the Monday before that Tuesday or the Sunday or that weekend or whatever, we'll go get the gun. That way it'll fall at the highest that it's available to you. And it looks like from the Iron Banner that we're doing, things are dropping for him at 596 now.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're easily going to get him to that level that he needs to be.
I see. I'm drastically behind. I think last time I checked, I was at 353.
Yeah, I was
for
in
my
300s.
for my Titan, and that's the highest of my three. The others are like just at or just below 350 on the other three.
Yeah.
So it would take a lot of grinding to get to where you're at right now.
Which today is the last day, I believe, for you to get Destiny 2 on PC for free.
Already got it.
Did you pick it up from the Blizzard app?
Yeah, like I said, just claim it.
Claim it.
Yeah.
You may not ever touch it. You may never use it. It
Probably
may be
won't.
nothing. But it is tied to your account, and it is absolutely free for you now.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens from here on out, you didn't pay a dime for that game. And that's exactly how I feel when I do the PS Plus stuff and the games with gold.
Yeah.
I don't see myself playing not even half, but like 95%. I don't see myself ever playing, but
They're there if you ever want to.
they're there if I ever want to.
It's like
That's one of the things.
I've already played Bulletstorm, way back when on PS3, but it was the full clip edition, free on PS4. So I said, well, why not? I didn't download it. I mean, I just put it on my library, so it's like with Destiny, it's always available to me. It's just a matter of downloading it whenever I want, whenever I'm ready for it.
All right. Let's see. Okay, AC Wraith got it. I had to create a Blizzard account. I don't intend to play it, but I got it. That's the thing.
Same
yeah,
here.
and Thar, free is free, man.
Blizzard, I had to make one for myself as well. Yeah.
I'm telling all of you who are listening too, and watching or whatever, however you're getting the show here, why not? It is free. All it takes is for you to just, get it. That's it. You may not play it. That's fine. But with anything, and it doesn't necessarily mean this, but with anything, if it's like, hey, free for a limited time, and you don't have to really put in any sort of investment whatsoever, just get it. Just get it.
Yeah,
So-
the hardest part is really just making an account. That's it. And then just say, you want this? Yeah, I'll take it. There you go.
Yeah.
You're done.
AC Race says I don't even think you can play it without full third person. Yeesh. I don't think you're going to get that. That'd be really tough to do. Like, it goes into third person when you're carrying a sword or when you're doing some of
Yeah.
your supers and stuff.
When you're not shooting.
But when you're using any kind of gun, it is first person. And I can't see... Like, I was thinking maybe there's a way they can mod the game so that they can pop out so you can do the first... But then again, the aiming part is the problem. It's like, wait a second. Then I don't know how your aim's going to work on that. Like when you want to go down sights.
Right.
How does that work?
Go back. Would the camera just swap back to first person or something like that?
Yeah. He's got simulator sickness. Oh, that's horrible. Have you tried? You know, I should ask. Have you tried? Have you tried to play it and it feels nauseous to do? I don't know. So
I've never heard that term before. Simulator.
yeah, there's some people who have it. It's the whole
Yeah.
situation where they get it's motion sickness, really.
Okay. Simulator sickness, a subset of motion sickness. Okay.
Yeah.
Typically experienced by pilots when they go, okay, I get it now. Wow. Yeah, that would be rough then. Okay, that's.
Going way back on the show, Dana had that.
Okay.
Zilla.
Yeah.
She had the same thing with motion sickness. It was hard for her not only to play the games, but to watch people play them. It was hard for her to watch people play first-person games because it got her really motion sick. The only one I think she was able to do was, I believe, Mass Effect.
Okay.
And I think Mass Effect had an ability to where you could play in first or third person, I think. So, let's see. He says, I haven't tried because half an hour of first-person play leaves me with an entire night of headaches and digestion issues. Then just stay away from it. I don't want you to go through that. Or if you do want to try it, have the medicine next to you and ready to go just to see. But, yeah, that's rough. So, anyway, that's all that I have played. RJ, what about you?
Played a bit more of Grand Theft Auto Online, trying to build up resources and things like that. But I did unlock something that was tied to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I did all the bounty hunting missions for Maud in the game. And for each account, it says that when I did those 5 missions, it said that you've unlocked a treasure. Just go to this location to go pick it up.
Yeah.
So I go to the location, and it throws me into the middle of a gang attack. A bunch of hobos under the expressway, so I had to go get in a gunfight with 20 of them.
Yeah, your typical hobo attack, exactly.
Yeah, so after that was all said and done, the treasure popped up, got it, and I was expecting, cash reward, because that's what I'm doing all these missions for.
Right.
But I got a stone hatchet.
Oh.
So the thing said in the notice in the upper corner, it said if you take out 25 enemies with the stone hatchet, you'll unlock a GTA cash reward, and you'll unlock this weapon in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it's tied to your account that way.
Huh.
So, and I remember you, Matt, were talking about a special homing tomahawk or something like that.
Yeah, I
you
could
had.
craft a homing tomahawk.
Yeah, so there's like special weapons like that. I guess it's just something that ties in there with that. So after that, I played a little more Soul Calibur 6. Had a few matches in that. Had a good time, but for the most part, in my fighting game, I was playing Injustice 2, a game I haven't touched in months.
Been a while, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's been a very long while, and the only reason I got into it was I saw a tournament being played streamed on Twitch that took place, and a character that I use, the character I made in the game is Swamp Thing, and not a lot of people use him in tournaments, but I saw this one person playing him, and he was doing pretty well. He got like top 8 throughout the tournament, so I just started playing more with him. So I started looking at the techniques he was using, and I wanted to see if I could implement them in mine and see if I could go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I played this week.
Okay. I don't think we can get to yours with enough time. Like, I mean, I know I could let you go, but I think you have more to say than just a quick little hit of stuff. Because I know you've been playing Hitman.
I'll give you a preview. I played some more Red Dead 2.
Okay.
As well as
Hitman.
Yes, Hitman.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about Hitman.
Right, so I want to give you the time to do that. So let's go to a break here. When we come back, we'll have more of in-game chat. All the music in this episode, I had really, the past couple of weeks after Halloween, I was covering all the October games that we had missed because there was a lot of releases in October, and I hadn't used any. And the one game that was absent out of both of those weeks of running music from October games was Red Dead Redemption, intentionally saving it for this episode so that I could run nothing but music from Red Dead Redemption. This is a track from Red Dead Redemption 2 called Pursued by a Memory. For me, it plays earlier on in the... it's one of the first pieces of music that I really remember hearing during a mission here. So we got this. When we come back, more of In-Game Chat. We'll find out what Matt's been playing. We'll be right back. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music, of course, from Red Dead Redemption 2. It is called The Disaster. I'm Scott, along with RJ and Matt, and of course our music is brought to you by our friends at Quality Comics, who have got a huge Black Friday sale that is going to go on this Friday. And they've got the all backstock sports cards boxes are going to be on sale. Vintage packs and boxes will be way below cost. Now, for the comic books, graphic novels will be buy two, get one free, and all comics in back issue bins will be half off. And there'll be 10% off all toys and comic inventory in the store. None of this, of course, applies to their online inventory, so keep that in mind at Quality Comics. Their hours are 10 to 7, Monday through Thursday. Friday, they're 10 to 10. I do not know if they're going to be opening up any earlier for Black Friday. I will find out from Lee here in just a second. And on Saturday, they open from 10 to 9, and Sunday from 12 to 5. So there you go for Quality Comics, located on the Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Check them out online at qualitycomics.com. Matt, what did you play?
Like I said before the break,
Red Dead?
Red Dead 2. I'm on Chapter 3.
While you talk about Red Dead, I'm just going to play music in the back.
That's fine.
Yeah, so talk about Red Dead.
I'm on Chapter 3. I've been doing a lot more of the hunting, the legendary animals. I've upgraded my satchel all the way, so now I can...
Oh, you found an iguana?
Huh? Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Where was it?
When you start Chapter 3, or you move your base camp, and there's some islands off to the left of you.
Okay.
And there's some iguanas on the islands.
So you started Chapter 3 now?
Yes, I'm on Chapter 3.
How's your money looking?
I got plenty of money.
Okay, good.
Plenty of money.
Good job.
I went back to the little tree stump, and I could still just keep on grabbing more money as I go.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's only $20 at a time, but, you know.
$20 in that time was good to have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, been doing a lot more exploring. Just enjoying it. I like the game. It's a lot of fun.
Good.
But then on Tuesday, Hitman 2 came out.
That's right.
I streamed a little bit of the first prologue episode, and went back and I've only done 2 missions so far.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually since I own the original Hitman and everything, it opened up the original, I could go back and play all of Hitman, basically the entire Hitman games, starting in 2016. So it has the original prologue, the first couple of levels and stuff like that, and then I could either start with that or I could go with Hitman 2, and that's kind of neat. So I went back through and I did the tutorial mission for the very first Hitman, and doing some of those the Hitman missions from the first 2016 game. It unlocks what is that, also Red Dead?
It says it's 47's theme.
Okay. Sure.
It's from I don't know. This is from a long time ago.
Yeah. But I unlocked the lockpick set and a sniper rifle and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so going in Hitman 2, now I have a good sniper rifle. I have a lockpick, all that stuff.
Yeah. So you got some perks for the main game from playing the original.
I could go back and play back through the the first game and get some more weapons and some more stuff. But right now I'm just looking at playing 2. I'll probably, after I beat 2, I'll go back and replay 1 in Hitman 2, because it does change it up a little bit, where you do have the tall grass where you can hide bodies in now, which is nice. You could have your briefcase, which is also nice, so you could smuggle in items a little easier that way. I went through and
this had to come from Absolution.
Maybe
it may even be further back than
Blood
that.
Money.
Yeah, it may go back further back than that.
I don't know, man. It's been a minute since I played some of those earlier ones.
Yeah.
But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you start off your tutorial mission for Hitman 2 is a little beach house.
Right. I talked about this last week. Remember, it was the whole thing about as I was going through the house, it's hey, do you want to poison this? Do you want to do this? I was
yeah.
No, I don't want to do any of that. And then old girl comes in and says, hey, you want some tea?
Tea, yeah.
Oh, I could have poisoned that and killed it. So, yeah. I talked about I talked about going through that. Now, I watched your stream.
Oh, you did?
Well, because I wanted to see if you went through there and it's oh, yeah, I remember where you talked about the poison thing. I could go ahead and do this. And you didn't do that.
I went back later on, and I did that.
Oh, okay.
I basically, before I went on to Miami, which is the first real level,
right?
I went back and I kept on redoing the beach house until I 100%ed it. So I did all the challenges and everything.
What type of challenges we talk about in this for this mission?
Well, there's different assassination challenges. One of them is to kill the lady. Assassinate her while her boyfriend is taking a shower without him noticing, and everything. One's to poison him. One's to kill him on the roof when they're in the panic room. One of them is to kill her when she's asleep on the roof by shooting her. One's to kill her when she's in bed with a pillow. So there's different ways that you could assassinate her. And then there's other stuff finding stuff. You have to find a key, or explore the house, or just different ways. And then they even have the classic challenges that you could do from the they call them classic assassinations, from Hitman 2016, where stuff use the garrote wire, or drown them in a pool or some
Have you
water.
watched any speed runs for that level on YouTube or anything?
I have not.
Oh.
I can imagine people could do it pretty good.
Minute and a half.
I could see that.
Minute and a half to run that level.
Probably the longest thing is running from the starting point into the house and then back out.
Yeah, well, the way that he works, or the way that he did, is runs to the house, does the cameras to get inside, gets inside, goes upstairs, activates. I think the clock. I don't think the clock starts until
activate the computer.
Until the computer thing, which brings in the enemies.
Yeah,
that's when the clock starts. And as soon as he does, he runs down the stairs, which are right there as they walk in. Fires a shot on the ground, which causes them to turn around or something like that, and he just walks like he's crouched. It's as though their vision is very focused to not to, if they're looking straight, They don't see there's a cone that you could be in. You can stand right next to them, and they can't see you.
That's how it is when I wear a stormtrooper.
It's like they're wearing goggles or something. Yeah, I was about to say. If you're wearing goggles or something, it narrows your
because he walks right by them, crouched, of course. But like he gets the kill on. Well, that's right. He fires at the. She comes in and does the alarm or does whatever she does.
Yeah.
He fires the shot outside on like the steps right there by the front door, outside the front door, which causes the other three guys or ever how many to turn and look at that. Gives him time to knock her out and bring her behind the couch, and drops her there, and then he goes around, and that's when he does the whole thing about crouching below and just walking right by them. And I mean, they do notice something, but they're just like, huh? And by that time, though, he's already down.
Well, I was just about to ask you, how long are they looking at that where the shot came from?
Not very long. I mean, he's fast.
Yeah.
He is very fast. I'll find the video.
Wait, not to knock her out and drag her behind the couch? So whatever you say?
Look, I'm going to have to show you a video.
I did one of the sniper challenges where I was just waiting outside, and she came out on the balcony, sniped her and ran off and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I completely 100%ed that level. Silent assassin, suit only, just all the different stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I felt pretty good about that level. So I went on to Miami. I've been playing Miami now, and I think I'm about halfway done with the challenges there.
There's somebody who did Miami in a minute 33.
Oh, geez.
So what's the setup for Miami? Who's the target in that one?
You have two different targets. You have a father and a daughter, and she's a race car driver. And Miami's actually taking place at like a Grand Prix race, and she's racing.
Ooh, yeah, I'm about to say she's a driver, so she's going around the track at 100 plus 150 miles an hour. So yeah,
I've gotten I've already done the kill, the assassination where you have to shoot her with a sniper rifle. I've already done that one.
Good shot.
Oh yeah, I got her. I did one where I pushed him into her while she's driving by, and that caused her to crash. I got one. The pyrotechnics when she wins and everything. She's up on the stage, and I blow up the stage, and
When you mentioned pushing the father into the car, I'm thinking I can't remember the man's. I think it was Tom something, but it was an old race where a field marshal was running on the track, and the guy got hit, and there was no warning, and the guy was carrying a fire extinguisher with him, and the impact of him getting hit, the driver hit the fire extinguisher, and it killed him instantly. I want to say it was Tom something, but
it's legit happened.
Yeah, it happened. I'm trying to think.
Yikes!
There was a video of it. I can't remember the guy's name, but when you said about the guy pushing, one of the maids was pushing the father into the car while it's going around the track.
Yeah,
I instantly thought about that image because I saw it years ago. Now I'm gonna have to look for it, but yeah, go ahead. What other methods did you have for that?
Poisoned her. There's other stuff I could do where I could a couple of different ways to poison her, poison the drinking from the trophy. I could poison later on she'll be doing some shots. I could poison her that way. There's different ways to assassinate them. And so I've been doing that. I've been going back through that level and going back through that level, really trying to get a grasp on where everything is laid out, the different hidden items, stuff like that. I found a fish, and I smacked a dude with a fish. And that's actually one of the challenges, to knock someone into the ocean with a fish.
Yeah, there is a fish thing.
Yeah.
And then throw the fish in the water, and that's kind of cool. I'm really trying to, like I said, know this level because in less than 58 hours, the first elusive target is going to be done, and that's Sean Bean.
When is that? Is that activate, or is it going to be over with?
It activates.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it activates in under 58 hours.
And how long does it stay around? A week?
I think it's 48 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have done that over the holiday or something.
That's how the first one was. You have 48 hours to do it.
Yeah.
Well, or was it 47 hours? Might have been 47 hours to do it.
No.
Yeah, close enough.
Which would make sense because he's Agent, 47.
Yeah, close enough. 2 days.
But so this is the first elusive target. It's Sean Bean, Boromir from Lord of the Rings. Mr. I like to die in everything I do.
Okay.
And that he's going to be in the Miami level. So that's why I'm trying to get a really good idea of where the layout is and understand the ins and outs, how to quickly get in and out. Because with the elusive targets, you have one shot at that.
Yeah.
If you die or if, the moment you pull the trigger and they're dead, then that's it. You're on course for either I'm going to do this or it's going to be gone forever.
Yeah.
So I really want to enjoy that one.
So only until you...
Up until the point where you kill the target.
So if you don't kill the target, so if you get seen before you even kill the target...
You can restart.
You can restart, okay.
Yes. I mean, that's how it was in the first one. I'm assuming that's how they're going to continue in the second one.
Right.
If you get shot and, if you, start taking a bullet, then you could easily just, stop, pause, restart, okay, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get killed or, then it's done. If you assassinate the target, then you're locked in. You cannot restart.
Right.
And that's usually when it gets the most challenging because, that's when, of course, everything will probably fall, to the wayside of all your plans.
I put the link in the chat room for that run that I saw.
Okay.
It's not actually a minute and a half. It's like 2 minutes, but still.
Yeah.
And the way he walks by the guy, it's still a little.
Yeah.
The guy steps in. You're crouched and the other guy's standing, and you're really just right next to him, and just walks around and goes in the door. I mean, yeah, right.
Right before I got here, I redid the level, and I got Silent Assassin and Suit Assassin. Mm-hmm. So I was able to take them both out without being spotted in my suit, because it's hard to do it just in your suit without changing. Mm-hmm. Because it's so much easier just take on disguises, and there's I think 28 different disguises you could wear in this one level. That's one of the challenges. The chameleon is wear every single disguise. Mm. So I'm good way through that one. I haven't found them all yet.
That is a race. You got a time limit?
For the racing part, yes.
Yeah.
That will actually stop. She'll win, and then she'll just be wandering around the rest of the time. Okay. And she has her own little, scripted areas and schedules and stuff to do after the race.
Okay.
So there's some of the challenges that take place that you can only do after the race. Mm-hmm. There's some that you can only do during the race, and then some only after.
Now your sniper shot, that was while she was
while she was driving by.
While she was driving by. Okay.
The first shot I missed. The second shot I missed. The third shot I got her.
Okay. Now there was no a lot of noise in the race car. There was no.
It's a silent sniper rifle.
Silent sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Still.
I would think so. The shots that you miss would be alerted. You know what I'm saying?
Like that sudden explosion of dirt in the center area or something like that.
If
it didn't register, it didn't register, and that's fine. So
as long as you didn't hit nobody. Maybe as long as you didn't hit nobody.
I didn't hit. I need to. I could pretend to be a maintenance person, like a pit crew person, and one of the challenges I need to do with that is put explosive
on her car.
Yeah, you can mess something up in a pit crew.
Yeah. I've done that once already. It gives you two options. One of them is to put the explosive or something in the car. The other is to loosen the tire.
Yeah.
And I did the tire because I didn't have any explosives on. That was my very first round when I did that.
Yeah.
So
sabotage or
sabotage
like
a car. Yeah. There's I really because I went back and I saw that video that you talked about last week.
The art
of repetition.
Repetition, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it made wonderful points. I totally agree with it. And I think that's what it is. Before moving on to the next, because now I can move on to the next level, Obviously, I have it unlocked. So, but before I move on, I want to really get to know this level. So I keep on going back and I keep on retrying. What if I go this path?
It works a lot. It reminds me of how I play pinball, I guess. I will play a table over and over and over and over again
really
until I get a score.
Yeah,
until I get a score that I'm satisfied with.
Yeah.
How many different ways can I get where I want to be with on this table? Or how many different ways can I take out this target?
And in each level, you have a level mastery, which is ranked 1 through 20, and then you also have your personal character mastery. I'm not sure what that does. My character master is up at level 35, 36, but I maxed out the mastery for that level. And so for the level mastery, every time you go through the game and then you escape, it'll chalk up. And I like the way that it does this at the end too. It goes through. It has a big grid so to speak, of like little icons of like all the different challenges. And as it goes through, it scans through, and like as you do one, it like pops up, then it'll pop up another, and so like pop, pop, stuff like that, and then tells you like how many you've done. That we could see like, oh, that's how many I've done, that's how many I've left to do, and then the more you do, then that gives you the better score, which raises the mastery for the level, which unlocks starting points, items, weapons, and outfits. So now I could start off for say at the pit crew. That way it'll save time from running from the beginning in my suit, try and find someone, get into the crew, blah blah blah. I could just start right there, the pit crew, or I could start off in like a food vendor or something. So I like still starting at the beginning and everything, and like from there branching out. Which way do I want to go?
Yeah.
It's weird in the way Hitman works, and we don't have much time, and I want to get Chris's call. I don't want him to wait too long.
Hey, Chris.
But it's weird in Hitman is that in all other stealth games that I play, for the most part, you take a game like Batman on the what are they called? What were those missions? Like there were two. There was the combat arenas, and then there was the
stealth missions.
It was, I guess, it was stealth missions. They were called something else, but yeah, it's the ones where you weren't fighting. You had to be
not seen.
Yeah, you had to be not seen.
Sneak.
Was it called Night something? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but in that one, the objective was and always has been like, clear out the guys, and then you finish the thing. For maybe not for Assassin's Creed, but earlier on in Assassin's Creed, I would kind of have the same thing where if I'm in a room full of whatever, I would objectively start, whittling them down one by one, taking them out, that sort of thing. I feel, and I watched your video, and I kind of, because I haven't gone back to the game since I started it up that time, I kind of feel the same way where I have this, not OCD thing, but I just have this thing where it's like, I'm going to take out every single person here in the map, But that's not the thing. It's like, if you really want to feel like an assassin, it is that one target, and then get out.
That's the sniper, the silent assassin challenge is just kill just the target. You could incapacitate people.
Does that not count?
It doesn't count as long as you don't kill
so you'd
them.
still get a silent assassin if you incapacitate people.
Yes.
Okay.
But the thing, if you do some escalation missions, some of them actually stipulate you can't even incapacitate.
Right. You get in, get out, get it done.
Yeah. And I try and go for every time. It depends. Like I try to go more for the silent approach. The silent assassin of just. Let me get in there and just go after this one target. But sometimes you gotta, because if you incapacitate someone, if you don't hide their body, people stumble across it.
Yeah.
And then, you're compromised.
Now, if you get out of the mission before the body is found, that still counts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they don't find the
Because
body.
I was at the video that I posted in the chat room, he just leaves the body behind the couch, but he is long gone before they've ever noticed.
Yeah. As long as they don't find the body, then that's when you get the silent assassin.
Seems weird. It seems very strange because the way it's set up, like the one that I watched, the two people come in and they're talking. And then of course they got their bodyguards that come in too. But those two people are talking. They're having a conversation, and I feel like it is predetermined that this man is going to try and have a conversation with my target.
Yeah.
Regardless of where he's at, he is going to eventually turn around and have that conversation with her. When she's not there, wouldn't he suddenly say,
"Yeah, I wonder where she's at."
Where did you? I'm using logical AI in this, and I shouldn't be. I should be using game AI, which is
I'm not sure
if person is not there, then do this, which is how this whole thing
he
is
might
written.
just continue on to his next scripted event, which is basically go upstairs.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't turn around and say, where'd you go? It's just a sense of, okay, she's not in the room, she must be upstairs, I haven't seen a dead body or some other person, things are fine.
Yeah.
Which is just really weird, because if I walked into a house right behind somebody, and suddenly they weren't there,
I'd look around and be like, hey.
I would notice this.
Number one, rude. I was talking to you. Yeah.
It makes no effort to find the woman that I know of. So I don't know. Yeah, and that's fine. I'm honestly not knocking the game for that. It's just my head works differently, I guess, and I have to put it in more of a game sense rather than a realistic. It's scary as it sounds. I sort of sim these things.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's like, hey, well, look, we've all had instance of.
It's like Assassin Simulator.
Yeah.
It's like we've all had an instance of video game logic. You know, we just after a while you just stop trying to figure
There's
it out.
the whole magic bullets, or not magic bullets. That's JFK. There's the whole story bullet that we've called it, where in a game you'll be shot multiple times as a main character, but when you get shot in a cutscene, that's when it counts. Mm-hmm. Like when a cutscene and you get shot, then of course it's
like, ow, that one really hurt.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, my life is on the line. I got to get to what it's like. You've been shot plenty of times.
I was thinking during gameplay, like Call of Duty. Something I've always asked: how is it you get shot in the chest 15 times, you're still alive, but a thrown knife in your foot?
Right,
oh, that's instant
the one
death.
That's the one that kills you. Yeah. I don't know. Let's go to Chris real quick. Hey, Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
Not
Chris.
much. Got a little time here, but we got to take a break. But what's going on with you, man?
Same thing, having fun playing Fallout. Good Lord have mercy, this thing's addicting.
Oh, that's
I started
right.
Playing around, I started playing around 11 o'clock last night, and I ended up about 4 or 4:30 this morning.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Goodness.
Been a while since I did something like that. Played a game, played an all-nighter on a game like that, But you're having fun.
And I was just messing around, not doing anything, just fiddle farting around and just killing enemies, exploring, going here and there. Not much of nothing, not doing any kind of missions whatsoever. And Lord have mercy. But yeah, it's real fun. So yeah.
So in Fallout, if you run across someone and they have power armor, are they just like overpowered? You know, like war machines, or do you have?
I don't believe so. I haven't ever encountered anybody. I've got some power armor myself, but from what I've seen, the way things work now, whenever you find a suit that nobody has touched or interacted with, you can as soon as you interact with it, it becomes yours no matter what. And in order to get in there, like you say, if you're a low level, there's no level requirement to even get inside the frame, but you have to take the actual armor pieces off of it if you're too low a level to use them. So the armor pieces that I found on mine were like level 30, so I just took them off. But even getting inside the frame, it gives you across the board resistance to damage, energy, and the rad resistance of a flat 60 across the board just for getting in the frame with nothing on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's actually stored in your inventory, so whenever you want to get out and do something around with it, it'll stay there, and then after a couple minutes, it'll pop up a message, and such time it'll be returned to your inventory, and it automatically just disappears and just, magically disappears and goes back inside. And the frame only weighs 10 pounds, but anything you have equipped on it, that weight doesn't increase on the frame, so it's pretty unique and different the way it works. And
that frame seems kind of light.
Yes.
10 pounds, really, for what it does?
Yeah.
Mm. You still need do you still need fusion cells with it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And 100 units of energy, and it dwindles down over time?
Yeah, and doing different things, but there's different parts that's like in the other games where you can. There's one that increases the time that it lasts up to 200%, which I spent about an hour and a half or 2 hours going through the book, and I want to use this stat, I want to use this one. How many stat points do I want to put in this tree so I can use these all the time, or which ones do I want to swap out for different occasions? And I spent forever just going through and figuring out the way I wanted to play and a good way to play with friends and stuff as well. And and from what I've read, there's no level limit, no level cap at all. You can just keep gaining levels and levels forever, supposedly.
Okay.
Have you seen a lot of people playing it?
Yeah, there's only 24 on the server at one time or one session, but they're so far spread out over the map that I may see one or two people my whole time when I'm playing. And if I'm out about doing my own thing out there, I've never seen anybody try to go out there to make just to make an effort to come see somebody. They're just doing their own thing and having fun.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and my buddy Tim that works at the Retro Game Planet, I got him a copy of it, and we played the beta before the full game came out, and he was hooked instantly. So we've been playing online a few times, and he recorded somebody trying to sell a power armor frame to somebody else, trade it to him, which it wasn't going to happen because once you activate it or mess with it, it's yours no matter what until you destroy it or do something with it. So he was trying to get something out of him, and I don't know whatever happened, but I'm thinking, no, that's not the way it works.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you calling, man. Thank you so much. We got to go to a break here. Sorry to cut you off, but
that's fine. Y'all have a good one then.
All right, man.
Good now.
Bye.
We do need to run. And what was I going to say? Oh, Fallout. The whole thing of what they were saying in Fallout. Fallout 76 feels like a way that Bethesda was like, how do we make a game where they'll spend money on the game, but then how do we make it so they can continue to spend money on the game? Let's do it online, and let's have this stuff where you can buy, I don't know what it is, but I know something went on sale, or I say went on sale, but went up for grabs in the store now. And it's something, it's an optional thing.
Yeah.
Very much like a free-to-play game type situation where it's like, you don't have to do this. You can get it in-game. Or you can spend some real world money and pick it up. We've got to take a break. When we come back, it's kind of the big thing that happened this week. There were a lot of things that happened this week. There's some Black Friday sales. We'll go over those at the end of this hour. But in the next segment, we want to talk about Sony and E3 and what's happened there and what this means for Sony, what this means for E3 itself. There's a lot of things to kind of parse through on that. So we'll be back in just a moment here with more of in-game chat. More music from Red Dead Redemption 2. This is from, is it called Lemoyne? Is that the name of that city in there? Lemoyne?
Yeah.
Lemoyne, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or Lemony? Lemoyne. That's the name of this track. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Red Dead Redemption 2, as all the tracks on this show are from. This track is called Do Not Seek Absolution.
Okay.
Do not know where it comes in the game, but
All I can think of is a do not seek the treasure.
I don't know what that is either.
From Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I think I've seen that movie one time.
Oh, wow.
I've seen bits of that movie tons of times.
Yeah.
Because people like to show bits of that movie, but I've only actually seen the film all the way through maybe once.
Coen Brothers has a new movie
I
out
saw
on
that.
Amazon.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I want to see that.
I know.
And the
like-
new Mexico. I mean, new Narcos, Mexico.
Sounds like music you hear in the background while you're just traveling between towns or just exploring.
This to me sounds like when you move camps. Like if you're like traveling to like set up a new camp somewhere else. It's travel music, like the somber, tucking your tail between your legs as you mosey on along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this music here is brought to you by our friends at Quality Comics. They're located on the Eastern Boulevard, and they have a Black Friday sale that is going to start on Friday, of course. And all backstock sports cards boxes will be on sale. Graphic novels, buy 2, get 1 free. I don't know what they have, but I would imagine that includes those Walking Dead compendiums or whatever they are. So you can get Series 1 and Series 2 of those. And those are the thick ones. Those are the ones that cover more than a year, but like 5 years each. 5 years of comic books each, I think, in those. It's a lot. They're like 300 some odd pages or so, and it's just issue after issue after issue. So you could buy, I think there's 3, there may be 4 now, but you could buy Series 1 and 2 and then also get 3 for free, if it applies, of course. What else do they have? All comics in the back issue bins will be half off. 10% off all toys and comic inventory as well. That does not apply to the online inventory, so keep that in mind. Quality Comics on the Eastern Boulevard. You can find them online at qualitycomics.com or on their Facebook page, which is Montgomery Quality Comics.
I would get the Akira.
Yeah, there's that too. Thor just reminded me about the Stan Lee situation, and that was
again.
Reminded.
Well, it's
How you forgot?
Well, it's not that I didn't forget, but it's just one of those things. And
Yeah.
oh man, that was a horrible. Was it Monday?
I think
it was Monday or Tuesday. Oh God, it killed my day.
apparently Bill Maher said something stupid.
He did say something stupid, but then again, it's Bill Maher. He's always saying
something
stuff
stupid.
Yeah, but it's just, oh God, it killed my day. And now that I think about it, it's still, I'm not quite over it. Not that I ever will be.
95 years is a great run. He did his important stuff, like in the second half of his life.
I say that a lot whenever people
served
die in
in
their
the war.
90s or even late 80s or something. I say, you know what? That's a good run for that person. Good job. That's great. You lived a full life.
Think of it this way. Out of all of human history, the chances of you being alive the same time as like David Bowie, Stan Lee, Danny Elfman, George Lucas, all these, great people, you should be lucky.
No, I get that. It's still
terrible.
Not that it's. I don't know, man. I've spent more of my time alive with Jim Henson dead than I ever did while he was alive. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really see a difference between the two of being alive when somebody else was alive type of situation. Same with David Bowie. Even though I've never seen him tour. I never got to see him live. So, but I still have his music, and that's the thing. And I mean, with Stan, you still got his books. You've still got all of the stuff that the books have spawned out. I played Spider-Man from Insomniac the other day,
the
just to get
cameo in that game,
which I haven't come to yet.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty early on.
Is it?
You played it, RJ.
Where's his cameo?
What?
Stanley's cameo in the game.
In the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, you've already unlocked the demon, right? He's at the
restaurant.
The restaurant.
Yeah, the restaurant when Peter and MJ are having a discussion in the restaurant, and the server. Yeah,
I don't remember it. How early on was this?
It may have been late.
Was it late? I thought it was kind of early. I don't know.
Remember, I'm playing methodically, which means I'm going very slow.
It'll probably be late in the game for you. If I'm trying to recall, I think it was late in the game for me.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I like that.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it was.
I know it's in there. I just haven't seen it.
It may have been the epilogues.
No, it wasn't an epilogue.
Okay. Well.
Anyway, going back to this week's news of what happened. Look, there was a lot that happened this week as far as just last Saturday during the show, we found out that Microsoft bought 2 new studios.
Yeah.
They held an event that had plenty of stuff to talk about, but none of that is really worth talking about. Now, we've got some Black Friday deals that we're going to go over in the next segment. There was some things that I wanted to highlight in quick stuff news about here's good news, here's bad news, here's all this stuff, but whatever. the thing is Sony is skipping E3, and they're not just skipping it. They are not going to be there at all. This is not a situation where EA doesn't come to E3 and then they have an off-site thing where you can go and enjoy their games. Or Nintendo doesn't do E3, but they've got a booth inside, and they're going to have a thing off-site for their tournaments or whatever like that. This is Sony saying, no, there's not going to be a shed of us at all there. We're not going to be on the show floor. We're not doing a presentation. We're not going to have an off-site thing. Yeah. Nothing. Sony is not participating in E3.
I wonder if they're going to do
in
their
2019.
own thing.
Jeez.
Wow. like set up like their own just Sony con, like BlizzCon.
I mean, they might.
You know, why compete in E3 with everyone else when you could just do Sony Con?
Well, look at what Microsoft just did last week. They had the X18 or whatever it was.
In, Mexico City.
Yeah, you know, and Sony had one called I think it was PSX. They had they used to do in Vegas and stuff.
I'm trying to see why this is such a big deal, because haven't we been saying for years that E3 is just been tapering off year after year after year?
Well, that's why it's kind of a big deal, because this is the first, like, when Activision quit, I was like, wow, that's pretty big. Like, Activision totally bowing out. They used to have really big booths, and now they're backing out. And then I think it was Walt Disney that backed out too, or Disney Games or something like that. And I was like, Disney's small.
Disney is small.
They were at the time that they were doing this. They had not bought Star Wars or Marvel at the time.
I've never considered Disney in anything as small.
In the video game market? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, Disney as an entertainment as a whole.
Oh, no. Entertainment as a whole, sure, they're big.
They're
but
big.
They didn't have a big presence on the show floor at E3, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So them backing out of E3 wasn't really a big deal. It's not a big chunk of change like a group called Activision, which has a massive floor space. Floor space costs money. That's how the ESA makes their money. That's how they put on these shows.
Yeah.
So when EA said that they're not going to do it, it's like, wow, that's another big chunk of change that they're not going to be there, because the floor space, that's a massive amount of floor space that they've got to now sell to somebody else. They've got to now chop that up and sell that to somebody else. Sony is the same way. Sony had a massive space. I would say bigger than EA, bigger than Activision, bigger than anybody else that's gone out of this thing. And now they've got a massive amount of floor space that they've got to sell off to somebody else, which likely Microsoft will buy it, because Microsoft and Sony were always placed next to each other. Microsoft will likely say, we'll take that space, and they'll just open up a massive... So then, that floor, if it stays the way that it's always stayed, one side of the aisle will be all Microsoft, the other side of the aisle will be all Nintendo. Because Nintendo still has floor space still at E3. They may not do they may not be there to do a presentation or anything like a press conference thing. They've always done those pre-recorded now, but they'll still be there. So that's still money coming in. But it's a really big deal for somebody like Sony. It's not something I ever thought. Like, I could have looked at it and said, sure, they won't do E3, but they'll still do a press conference and do their, like, here's what we've got. They're not even doing that. I'm actually all for this, really. I really am.
I mean, I'm just saying. I just don't see what the deal is. I mean, if all these companies were like dropping year after year after year, and then the effort, like you said, everybody doing pre-recorded stuff and not being there live, it's like the writing's on the wall. No one really cares about E3 as much as they used to, and people are just pulling out.
I think they care about it, but I think people do care about E3, but it's a situation where they only ever cared about these press conferences, which were not something that was... It happened at the same time, just for the convenience, but the press conferences were never actually a part of the E3 experience itself. E3 was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the LA Convention Center. Everything that was outside the LA Convention Center was not a part of E3. Microsoft's press conference, Sony's, Nintendo's, Ubisoft's, EA's, none of those were sanctioned by E3 or whatever. They were just press conferences that these companies held, which is also a massive amount of money for them to be spending to make those things happen. And I don't think Sony is in any kind of financial trouble whatsoever. But the fact that they've looked at this and said it is not whatever, I don't know what, they really haven't spoken on this, but to look at it and say it is either not financially viable for us to do this, or it is not... I don't know what else it would be. Some way of like, we can do this a better way for
Maybe
ourselves.
they consider it a waste of time.
Right, yeah. A waste of time and money. We can do this better for ourselves. We realize that more people watch this than attend it. So why are we spending money like this to put these things on? Why don't we just do this from the way that we've done it before?
Let me ask you this. When's the last time you've been surprised by anything at E3? Announcing this at E3 that wasn't like leaked or put out or something that someone already called or...
Well, I mean, I was there for when Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced.
How long ago was that?
2014?
And since then, has anything...
In 98, when they announced Duke Nukem Forever. I remember that.
So yeah, that's not a memory for me. I remember because I was there, and that's the reason why it sticks for me, is because I was there when... I was there when Last Guardian finally got a date, and they announced it. But that was something... It's not something we all expected, but it's something we knew was in the process.
That's what I'm trying to say. Something that you didn't know blindsided you.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was not something I ever thought they were working on. I had no idea.
Okay, but that was in 2014.
And that was in 2014
Since then.
so.
That's what I mean. Since then.
Since then, I can't... I don't know. The biggest reveals haven't... Or I say the biggest reveals. The biggest surprises are when they say, oh, it's available now. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's not a big surprise to me.
But just
other than a
timing.
sense of, oh, wow, that's nice. They announced this thing, which
Here's
is usually not a big thing.
Oh, yeah, you can get it now.
But it's available now. So, But that doesn't matter. That could be at anything.
Yeah.
That could be at any one thing that they hold for themselves, where it's like, why does it matter that they do it on their own? You know? Does Sony, do these companies have to have press conferences at all? Do they have to have these things pre-recorded or not, live? Do they have to? Can it just be announced? Can they just send out press releases every time it's come up? I would say no, because people want to see footage of games, and so there's a good way to package that into a 30-minute or an hour presentation of here's what we've got, and here's when we're expecting it to come out. You know, which may be what they're going to. I don't really know.
But the bottom line is, what I'm trying to ask is, does E3 even matter anymore?
I would say not. I would say not anymore. Okay. So here's the reason I stopped going to E3 was
better coverage at home.
Well, a part of it was just the money being spent, which is ridiculous. For me to fly out there, stay in a hotel, go to this thing.
Yeah, it costs money.
Yeah, it cost quite a lot of money. It was fun. I enjoyed it when I did it, but I don't miss it that I don't have to do it anymore. I also hate LA. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason is that, I was making some great connections as far as getting people on the show, getting copies of the game so we can talk about them, getting them on the show so we can talk about them. That was fun, but I can still do that with PAX. So I've still got an alternate route to make that happen. The other thing was trying to get into these press conferences meant absolutely nothing other than the few times that the camera panned and I was on TV. There was really nothing else to it because you guys saw it as well. You guys saw it without all the noise of the crowd hooping and hollering whenever something happened on the screen.
Yeah.
You guys didn't have to sit around and wait or catch a cab to go back to the hotel after it was over with or anything like that. It's a much better viewing experience from home for that thing. Yeah. Not only that, if you couldn't do it, all of the videos would be up on YouTube right after.
Quickly, yeah.
And you could just pick and choose what you wanted to watch and didn't have to waste the time to see it. That's the press conference side of things. Then there's the show floor, which is the part I talk about where I made connections, got to talk to people, played some games. Yeah. And I got to talk about those games. But I remember coming back from E3 and giving you guys descriptions of what I saw for a couple of games behind closed doors. And then 2 weeks later, they'd put the same video that I watched up for people to watch with commentary. The same commentary that I got while I was there. I thought, well, this is ridiculous. There's no need for me to do this. They're going to release all that footage anyway. So part of me says that, there's no point in E3, but then there's got to be a way for us to get that information. There's got to be a way for people to come back and say, hey, I played this, and when you play it, you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this. And there's also a mode that you can do this with, somebody to describe the game for us and to tell us about the game, not necessarily the plot, but just the mechanics, some of the mechanics, some of the things that are being done differently, just information. I mean, they can do that likely with putting out their own videos, but for other people, for other companies that don't have the time or the money or whatever to make that happen, showing it off to a bunch of people from the press who go back and talk about it is a ton of free advertising for them. I say free advertising. They did have to pay to go to E3. But what they get out of that is probably far more than what they had to put into it. The money that they paid for the space on the convention floor is pocket change compared to how much they would have had to pay to get all the advertisement that they would get from people talking about their game. So part of me says it's all right, and then part of me is like, you don't really need it. There's other ways to do that. There's ways to send out demos to press. That costs nothing, You're already using up enough time in the development cycle to build a demo for E3, which cuts into your time to finish the product you're working on because you have to build a demo for them to play. So, there's pros and cons to it. I am excited for this move because I kind of would like to see either E3 go away, but not because I hate it or I'm cynical about it or anything like that. But I think there's a better way to do it. There's a more efficient way to do it somehow, and I haven't thought of that, but I feel like there is a way to do it better. So I've always encouraged that this force them to change the way that they do things, the way that the ESA does things. Why is it always in July? Why can't you move it to some other time of the year? Why is it always got to be in LA? Why can't you move it somewhere else? Be a tour. Be something to where you go to a different place every year or something like that. I mean, it's always in LA because of the companies that were in the general area to be able to make it over there. It used to go from LA to Atlanta.
Yeah,
but
I liked Atlanta. That was nice.
A lot of game devs didn't like Atlanta. It was too far. It was too far away from them to have to plan all of that and spend money, again, to make that happen. A lot of people who go to E3, they're not even booking hotels. I say the game companies anyway. They're driving in from out of town, doing their thing, and then driving back. So, I don't know. But for Sony to move out of this is a big, big deal. Maybe Microsoft looks at this and says, well, let's see what they do. I mean, we were already booked for E3 of next year, but let's see what they do. This might be something for us. It might be an idea that they have that they can do that. Or other companies as well. I don't know. I don't know. So, but for them to actually go through with this was something I was wondering if it would ever happen, and if it did, who would be the first one to do it?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Microsoft? Is it going to be Sony?
Well, you got your
Nintendo
answer.
already did it, and when Nintendo did it, they were still pushing the Wii.
Yeah.
Or the Wii U, and I thought, Nintendo doesn't need E3.
No.
They're fine. Now with the Switch, it's like, now they're good.
They're actually selling games.
Now it takes some attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's still their little Nintendo Directs that they do have easily proven that they don't need E3 at all.
Save money.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it saved tons of money. They don't need to do it. So, and I think Sony looks at that and they says, you know what? We probably don't need to do it either. It does make me wonder, how are they going to push? I mean, they talked at least in depth about 4 games at E3 of this past year. 4 for a 2-hour show, which was weird. The only games out of that 4 was Spider-Man that released. They've still got Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
That one From Software game, and I can't remember what it is, the samurai game. Shadows of Death or something?
No, Shadow
Twice?
Shadows Die Twice.
Shadows Die Twice, I think was the name of that one. And there was a third. Death Stranding. Death Stranding, Shadows Die Twice, and Last of Us 2. They've still got those, at least those big 3 to release possibly this coming year in 2019. How are they going to highlight those and show those off? How are they going to announce new product? How are they going to say that? How are they going to show us slides of how good sales have been for whatever they've been doing? So I don't know. I don't know what's to come. I'm anxious to see how it is. That was the other thing. When somebody does pull out of this, Sony or Microsoft, what do they do to compensate? Not E3, but the company that pulls out. What do they do to compensate that? Do they do anything at all?
Do they revamp?
And if they do something, what is it? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Is it going to be a version of Nintendo Direct, but in Sony, where there is no audience that they're talking to, there is no crowd noise, there's just somebody standing in front of the camera saying,
This is what
"Hey, here's at Sony. This is blah blah blah. We've got these working on. Here's the game." Video footage. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Nobody knows exactly what they're going to do about this. And I don't know how the ESA is going to compensate. They're in a contracted lease for another, I would say, 3 years. I think until 2020. So another 2 years with the LA Convention Center. Mm-hmm. So they've got to provide because that space is just going to go unused and they're going to have to pay for it regardless. So I'm curious to see how they react to that.
Mm-hmm. What if Microsoft decides to pull out now too?
If Microsoft decides to pull out, I don't know what'll happen to it. I think E3 will still exist, but in an abbreviated form again. And you might see a different way that the ESA has to negotiate floor space with these companies. Like, if you do this, you're in a contract for this many years to continue to come back. I don't think they can do that with development companies. Just, you've seen how quickly companies come and go. Mm-hmm. You know, release your game,
done.
Fire your staff. Because you're done. We already saw that with Telltale, just out of the blue.
Don't even release your game, fire staff.
Yeah, right? And get your items pulled from Steam, by the way.
The thing will probably shrink to a 2-day event.
Maybe, I don't know. There's always, and again,
one day.
They've still got, you know, the companies still have things like PAX, who is 4 times a year. 4 times a year to show off your stuff. Pick one and do it. Pick the one that's closest so you save money. Pick the one that's closest to your release date so you get more profit from the free advertising of so many eyes seeing your product and it's coming out soon. So there's a lot to look at as far as what it's gonna do. I'm looking here. Electronic Arts now holds its own event. EA now holds its own event in Hollywood in the days leading up to E3. Microsoft rented out a theater at LA Live a few minutes away. Nintendo has spent the past 5 years doing their pre-recorded videos. Sony also typically occupies a massive chunk of one of the convention center's 2 main halls, so the company absence will leave a significant hole for the ESA to fill. This move makes sense for Sony, as the company's 2019 presser would presumably revolve around 3 of the 4 games it showcased. It's Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, and Ghosts of Tsushima. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Ghosts of Tsushima. Okay.
Is that also Shadows Die Twice, or is that a different game?
It's probably something else. Ghosts of Tsushima, I don't think is the one I was thinking of. The one with Shadow Dies Twice was like that, some type of zombie samurai with a artificial hand or something like that.
I thought that was From Software, or was that Shadows?
I think it was From Software.
Anyway, none of those have currently gotten release dates. All 3 are expected to come out in the latter half of 2019 or later. The PlayStation Experience that was supposed to happen this year, they skipped that. They didn't do it. They have been holding that every December from 2014 to 2017, but they didn't do it this year. This article says it's also yet another hint of the timing of Sony's next PlayStation. Based on conversations with developers across the industry, I expect, and this is Jason Schreier who is reporting this, I expect the PlayStation 5 to be released in 2020, and the publisher skipping E3 2019 certainly points to that. I don't know how. How does skipping the press conference point to a console release?
Reasons. Yeah.
I don't know. That would seem like hey, this is going to be our final E3. Okay. Then you announce the next PlayStation, and then you do your own thing after you've announced that.
Okay. Ghost of Tsushima was Sucker Punch Productions, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That's From Software.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if Shadows Die Twice exclusive to Sony, or is
no?
Yeah. See, Sucker Punch is a Sony developer. Last of Us is a Sony developer, and then I guess Death Stranding is a Sony. They're not a Sony developer, but it's Kojima, and it may be just a strictly Sony. It may be a Sony exclusive. Yeah. As far as I know, it is, because I haven't seen anything for Xbox for this. Death Stranding has never shown up at an Xbox event. a Microsoft event at all that I know of. We've spent way too long on this. We need to go. We've got another break to do, and we got some Black Friday sales to talk about. Here is more music from Red Dead Redemption 2. It is a track called Mexico. You boys going to Mexico?
All I can think of is the Jimmy Buffett song.
All I can think of is Super Troopers.
Oh, Mexico.
We'll be back with more in-game chat after this. Welcome back to in-game chat music again from Red Dead Redemption 2. This is called Train Heist. I'm Scott along with RJ and Matt. Quality Comics is wonderful to sponsor this show and legitimize us. So thank you to Jason, Lee, and Brent for doing that. Also, they have got a Black Friday sale, which happens on Friday. It's in the name. All backstock sports cards boxes will have a huge sale there. Vintage packs and boxes will be way below the cost. All comics in the back issue bins will be half off. 10% off toys and comic inventory in the store. That does not apply to their online inventory, so keep that in mind. All graphic novels, buy two, get one free, and then they're going to have varying discounts on all single cards as well. Probably some other stuff that Lee hasn't thought about that's going to be on sale there as well for you to check out. Their hours, they're open right now. They close, I believe, at 9 today. They're open Sunday 12 to 5, 10 to 7, Monday through Thursday, on Friday 10 to 10. They might open up a little bit early come Black Friday for you. Check them out at qualitycomics.com. That's comics with an X. And also at their Facebook page, Montgomery Quality Comics, are located on the Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. So I just now got around to reading some of the chat room while we were talking about that, so I apologize. Thar says he was really surprised by that. He thought it was fake news at first. Lethal Migraine says Sony's a horrible company with lousy console that they never have anything to show. Spencer going, see you at E3, guys, was great. Matt, you don't play games. Factually, you're wrong.
I thought I did. I've been playing games.
This is Lethal Migraine. Xbox has a better controller, better online. The games are a wash. EA Access and Game Pass make Xbox a million times better.
Not for fighting games.
See, I said PS4 is better than the
I'm sorry,
Xbox One.
I'll challenge him on that.
I know more people with a PS4
games.
than I do with an Xbox,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's whatever it is. But,
Yeah, it's whatever you like. But
Thar says, will you guys go again next year without a big Sony conference and games on the floor? I mean, we haven't been.
we haven't been in a while. I haven't been to
Yeah,
E3
you haven't
in
been since it was in
99.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
I haven't been.
No. Yeah, first year in L.A.
Okay.
I did last year Atlanta, first year L.A.
I haven't been in a good couple of years, and I kind of explained why that was, and likely why I'm not going back too. Thar says they will do 2 PlayStation experiences, one in May and one in December. It's not a bad idea. What I kind of see is maybe do you cut it down instead of doing one big thing in the summer? You do 4 smaller things throughout the year. Do a quarterly type Like, here's an update on what's going on with us. Do you have enough? Or maybe you do it twice a year. Or maybe you still only do it once a year, but you do it whenever you want to do it, I guess. I don't know. And do you hold it to open to the public? Is it just something that you do as a video to release and get the news out there? I don't know what they're going to do.
We'll all find out.
I'm curious as to what happens. So, all right. So, Black Friday deals. I had stuff.
You had stuff?
I did. Now I got to go find it again because I completely did not.
Why'd you close out the window?
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. I'm a big old idiot. There's nothing really new that that is added to it. You know, I don't know if you're looking for consoles, but if you are, they're going to be pretty cheap. What is it? $199, I think, for some of the. Xbox One S 1 terabyte Minecraft bundle is $199. PlayStation
Spider-Man bundle.
PlayStation 4 Slim version with 1 terabyte plus Spider-Man $199. It's really, really good.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some good deals out there, and you're going to find that at almost any place you go to get those. If you're looking for console deals, maybe you're not. Maybe you're looking for video games.
For a game controller.
Game controllers. I know that at Best Buy they're going to be. Down to like $40, I believe, all of them across the Xbox and PlayStation 4 games.
That's usually the drop price they go to anyway. Even if it's not Black Friday.
Yeah, the PS4 dual. Well, that's UK.
I wish I had a chance to buy the PS4 Classic controller, the one that looked like the anniversary.
The gunmetal gray one.
Yeah, it looked like the original PlayStation, but I didn't, and I kind of regret that. I wish I would have.
Yeah. Has anyone ever seen the DualShocks go below 40?
No.
No, because
not that I could think of.
I think maybe on a daily deal on like Amazon or something, they may have dropped to 35.
Yeah,
but not much.
Yeah, like I said, the $40 price is. I've seen that before at like Target, like some sporadic time I went there and I go to the electronics section and suddenly they just had a sale for whatever reason. PlayStation controllers were like $40. So when I saw that $40 on a Black Friday, I thought, man, it's just the typical price they drop to, no matter what the reason.
Yeah. I've got to redo. I'm going to have to redo my entire setup, my whole gaming setup that I have in the bedroom. I'm going to have to redo the whole thing. Well, right now it's been sitting there for, and I'm not saying it's been sitting there unplayed. I've been playing on it, but all the stuff has been sitting there since 2014 was the last time that I got a new TV. So it's all been sitting there since 2014, wires and everything else. And
2008 was the last time I got a new TV.
Yeah. And well, you should look into, what do you have?
I have an old Samsung.
Yeah, see, I got a Samsung too.
It's great. It's before they were smart TVs, so it's not even a smart TV.
But it's still an HD TV, right?
Yeah.
HD, yeah. And what size?
45.
Oh man, you could upgrade so easily. If you stayed in that realm, or even went to 55, you'd be in the 4K realm.
You know what the one flaw in that plan is?
You don't have anything that plays 4K content?
The two flaws in that plan is?
The money to buy?
Yes! That's the one.
That's the main flaw. I get it.
The main flaw.
I've just
out of space.
It feels like I've been out of the 4K race for a long time now.
I mean, yeah, I don't have 4K output, so
I was an early adopter of HD, the 1080 thing.
You're an early adopter of with the HD DVD too.
I was. No, I was totally on that. I remember. I still have some HD DVDs. I still have some of those, and I still have the player that plugged into your 360.
Yep.
That you
external player.
And man, I thought I was in the future playing that stuff. I was like, look at this, because this was the battle: Blu-ray or HD DVD. Which one is going to win? Blu-ray won.
Historically, you'd go with the non-Sony one because that's what happened. With
Sony doesn't win these things.
Yeah, Betamax and VHS.
Right.
I was totally like, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Showed us how wrong we were.
Right, I know. So yeah, I had an HD television set, and the first time I looked at HD content, I'd call the neighbors. Come look at this! It's amazing. Anytime somebody come over, look at this. People were wowed by it, and they just it floored them to see
colors
a 1080 picture. Yeah, and
shades and black and all that.
The other thing was the when I had a 360 and I hooked that up and I played Cameo.
Okay.
Which was what was that? Rare? Yeah, it was the launch title.
Yeah, the one with the blue and white. Little mascot type game, Cameo, Kameo.
Kameo. Yeah, it's not blue. I mean, I don't know, some girl.
Yeah,
named Cameo, and she had these little pets that you could play as and turn them into different things. I was thinking of, yeah, I can't remember what you're thinking of. The big push on that was
rare.
How many. Yeah, it was rare. Look how many things we can fit on the screen at one time. Because I remember going out into a big open area and there were so many. Just enemies on the screen at one time. It was amazing to see. But it was also amazing to see the 1080p, the HD of this. It was something I hadn't experienced in a game before. And it was amazing, and it blew my mind and that sort of thing.
The one that did that for me was Dead Rising.
Yeah. But
all the
enemies on the screen. That was one of the 360's big pushing selling points was we can put this many things on screen. Yeah.
The first time I saw Oblivion, and you walked out and you saw the world of Tamriel like that. Because before that, I was used to Morrowind and Daggerfall, and seeing it that way, I was just like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, since that time, 4K has now basically replaced every TV on the market. In fact, once I get a 4K set, I don't know what I'm going to do with my Samsung HD set.
Donate it to the needy.
How do I sell that?
Exactly.
How do I sell a TV that does only 1080 when I'd have to undercut massively just for somebody to buy this thing, because you can get 4K TVs, which are better quality, for probably cheaper than what I want to sell this thing off for. But anyway, my whole point is I got to redo the whole thing. The way the wires are done. I mean, basically, anytime I've gotten something new, I've put it on that shelf, hooked it up, and whatever used to be there, I've unplugged it, put it away, but not so much the wires. So like my PSVR, which I haven't used in a very long time, it's there and it's all hooked up, but the wires are all everywhere. I just really haven't been paying attention to it, is what I'm saying.
I mean, if you're not paying attention to it, I know someone that might want to play it in the near future.
Yeah.
When Ace Combat 7 comes out.
Yeah, exactly. When is that? January?
I think so.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And the other thing is that when I get games, a new game, I would open it up back there in the bedroom, put the disc in, close the box, and put it on the shelf. And then when I got another game, open it up, take the disc out that was in there, put it back in the box that was on the shelf, put the new game in, close that box, put it on the shelf, put it on the shelf, put it on the shelf, put it on the shelf. So
you have a whole stack of
games sitting up there. So I really need to redo that.
Yeah.
I need to make it accessible. I need to make it clean. And I'm going to be forced into doing that when I get a new TV. Because I have decided that this will be the year. I've been putting it off, because the prices haven't been where I want it. However, I've built up enough bonus points or whatever for Best Buy that I can take almost $500 off of whatever it is I get. Which is a pretty good deal, and what I've been saving up for.
For people that still use physical media and still have physical games on disc and stuff like that, I wish they could do something like a record, not a record, like a jukebox. The old days where they scroll through.
I know, yeah.
Arm comes, grabs it, and just sticks it into the player. That way, you just don't have stacks of boxes everywhere, but just have a little thing.
We're still gonna have a stack of boxes because the physical media comes in those boxes.
You
throw away your boxes?
No, but you could store those somewhere else. That way, you just have. Or like in your cars back in the day before MP3.
Well, he's got one of those.
He had the 6-disc CD changer.
He didn't have the 6-disc changer. He's got that book that you open it up and it's just pages and pages of CDs.
Yeah,
it's a CD wallet.
If you have a game changer where you could load them in. That way you could take the boxes, you could hide them, or store them somewhere else, in a closet.
The box is going to one of those big plastic storage bins.
Under your bed.
But look at the way technology is. Look at the way technology has gone.
Yeah,
it's all about less shelf space.
Yeah.
Smaller, thinner, Let's get it
Well, that's
less
just for
than
people
what
that
it
have
is.
physical copies. I'd say just get a bigger hard drive and download the thing.
I mean, I always had that idea until digital came around, and then I'm like, oh, you can just do this. I don't have to have a big clunky thing with more motors in it that has to move around and pick a disc and do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I can just buy it digitally and be there. My problem comes with every movie that I buy comes with a digital copy of the movie.
Yeah.
I'd really love it if every game that I buy comes with a digital copy of the game.
That would be...
Right?
That would be good,
but then you have to be careful because then you can take
hey,
that
here's a friend.
Sell that off. Or give it or whatever, and then you've got
how many games?
2 games for the price of 1, basically.
Yeah.
So if there's some way that can be tied, if they can figure out a way to tie that in, I would love for that to actually happen to where you get the digital copy of the game every time you buy the physical.
But then why buy the physical, though? Why not just buy the digital?
You can do that, too. I mean, the movies do that as well. Some people like to have it physically in case their internet doesn't work or in case, well, when your movies, you're streaming. It doesn't actually download to your system like a game does. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we've got to run. I way...
Rabbit hole?
Yeah, exactly. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room and listening on the stream and on the radio. Thanks to everybody who gets our show each week. Reminder, we are not going to be here next week. And in fact, a replay will not run. We will have Terry, the guy that comes on right after us here in a bit. He will be on in the 2 hours that we are normally on, doing a full 5-hour show. So anyway, have a fantastic week. Enjoy your weekend for those of you here in the States and doing the Thanksgiving thing. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. And we'll be back a week from, next Saturday. So take care. Here's more music from Red Dead Redemption 2. It's called The First Shall Be Last. Goodbye.